Good morning, students. Once again, welcome back to Web Technologies class. In this class, here I am going to explain you about frames. So, actually, what is the use of the frame? See, example. This is the browser window. Okay. So, in the browser window, this is the title bar where will give the title of the document. Okay. So, and whatever you write between the body section, that will be displayed here. Example, this is a HTML page. Okay. So, whatever you write between a body opening and a closing tag, that will be displayed in a document area. This is the body section. So, till now, whatever programs you have executed, all those programs executed in the browser. Okay, so in the single browser window. Suppose in the single browser window, if you want to execute more than one program, then we'll use the concept of HTML called frames. Okay, using a frames concept, what we can do is, whatever browser window is there now, that total browser window is divided into parts like this. And each part is used to execute one HTML program. And here each part is called as a one frame. And one frame is used to execute one HTML program. So, using a frames concept, what we do is, we divide a total browser window into different sections. And that process is called as a framing. And then each and every section of the browser window is used to execute one HTML program. So, like using a frames concept in a single browser window, you can execute number of programs. Okay. So, and in a single frame you can execute one HTML program, and that single frame can have a title and whatever properties you will give for a browser window, the same properties are applicable to a single frame. Okay, so here using a frames concept, what we are doing, using a frames concept, we are dividing the total browser window into different regions, and each part is called as a one frame, and one frame is used to execute one HTML program. So like this, using a frames concept in a single browser window, you can execute number of programs, and each and every program is executed in a single frame. Okay, so now this is a one frame, and this is a one frame. Okay, so if it is a frame, in a frame you can execute one single program. Okay, so whatever properties you will give to a browser window, the same properties are applicable to a single frame. Okay, so this is about frames. So using the frames, what we are doing, we are dividing total browser window into different parts, and each part is called as a one frame, and one frame is used to execute one HTML program. Now, here we discuss about tags. What are the elements are used to create a frames? Here we use two tags. That is, the first one is frame set, and the second one is frame. Okay, so using a frame set, actually here we have only two tags. Using these two tags, you can divide the total browser window into different sections, and in each and every section you can execute different, means one section you can execute one HTML program. Now let us discuss about frame set. Actually, what is a frame set? Frame set is called as a parent element. Okay, using a frame set tag only, you can divide the browser window into a different parts. And what is the use of this tag? This tag informs the browser whether you want to divide browser window into columns and whether you want to divide a browser window into rows. If you are dividing into a rows or columns, what is the size of the each frame? Okay, that information we will give. So what information we will give here? How you want to divide the browser window and size of each browser window. That information will pass by using a frame set tag. And next, frame is a child element of frame set. Frame is a child element of frame set. Okay, where will write a frame tag? We'll write a frame tag inside the frame set tag. So it is a condition that when you are dividing a browser window into a different partitions, that partition information is given inside the frame set tag, and what are the parts and what programs you are executing in that part. That information will give in a frame, and that frame should be a part of frame set. Okay. Now you can give a different information like a frames border and all by using a different attributes of frame set tag. So you can include different types of attributes. Using the attributes, you can give some additional information to the browser, whether you want to divide browser window into columns or whether you want to divide browser window into rows. That information is given by using a attributes. Okay, you take a note of this. Now we will discuss syntax and what attributes you can include inside the frame set. Now, here I will give you the syntax of frame set. Syntax is very, very important. It sometimes they will ask you this question in short. Okay. First one is like this. In the body. Actually, wherever you write the frame set, there you won't get the body tag. Because actually, what is the use of the body tag? Body tag is used to display some content. But here we are not displaying any content, just we are dividing a browser window into a section. So this frame set tag is a replacement of the body tag. So wherever you are writing the frame set tag, there you don't write the body tag. So in the HTML, directly you give the frame set. Frame set. This is a opening tag. Inside the opening tag only will include two attributes, either calls or rows. And size of first column, size of second column, so on, size of nth column. Okay, so actually what is the use of the calls here? Calls gives an information about your browser window division, means whether you want to divide a browser window into columns or rows. Okay, next here how many frames you want, that information you will give. Frame, source, and name of the HTML document. Name of the HTML document. See here, frame is nothing but example. This is the frame, total browser window. We are dividing browser window into columns. So this is called as a frame, this is called as a frame. So in this frame, which document you want to execute? That is nothing but the name of the document, name of the HTML document which you want to execute in a browser window. Second frame, like this. You can give as many frames as you want. Now close the frame set. You take screenshot of the syntax. Now we will discuss about calls and rows attribute. These two are called as attributes, and these are very, very, very important. And in the exam you should write this rows and calls attribute. Now calls attribute. What is the use of this calls attribute? See, as already said, using a frame set tag, we are giving an information that whether you want to divide a browser window into rows or columns. So, example, you want to divide a browser window into columns. That information is given by the calls attribute. Okay, so calls attributes describes that we are going to divide the browser window into columns, means we are going to divide browser window into vertical sections. Okay, now here I am giving a syntax. Frame set. Frame set, we are dividing browser window into columns. Okay, now the size of the first one is a 50%, comma size of the second one is a 50%. Okay, now and you give frame source of the document, which document you want to execute. Next, frame source. Next, b.html. Next, close the frame set. Okay. So this is a calls attribute. So what information it gives? Calls attribute gives information about. So using the calls attribute, we are dividing. Actually, what additional information is provided in the browser that we are dividing browser window into the columns. So here it is a call attribute. Okay, first column, second column. And what is this actually? It is a size of the first column, size of the second column. This is a 50% and this is a 50%, right? First window size. So actually here we are giving a calls attribute. What information it is giving? It is giving whether you are you are going to divide browser window into the columns. Next, how many columns? 2 columns, because here I have given only 2 sizes. So if you have given 2 sizes, then what it means, you are dividing browser window into the 2 columns. What is the size of the first column? 50% of the browser window, and this is the size of the second column, 50% of the browser window. When you add, you will get a complete 100% browser window. So total 100% browser window we are dividing into 2 columns. Size of the first window is 50%, size of the second window is 50%. So here, in the first 50%, which HTML document you want to execute? A.html. And in the second window we are executing B.html. Okay, understood? So this is a calls attribute. Calls attribute, using calls attribute, what we are informing the browser, we are informing the browser that we are going to divide browser window into the 2 columns. And size of the each column also. Size of the first column is 50, size of the second column is 50. If you want, you can give a 3 columns also. 10, 30, 30, 40 also you can give. So if you have given a 3 sizes, your 3 frames should exist. Okay, if you have given a frame, what it means, you have to give a size of that frame and which HTML document you are executing in that frame, that information also you should give. Okay. So here calls, we are dividing browser window into the vertical frames. We are dividing browser window into the columns. Okay. We take screenshot of this, and one more condition here. Before including this, A.html should exist, B.html should exist, and this file name is a C.html. So when you execute C.html, you will get this output. Okay, so if you execute only A.html, only B.html, you won't get this output. If you execute C.html, then only you will get this output. Because in C.html, we have written a code to combine those 2 files into a single browser window. So this is a final file. So if you want to see this output, which file you have to execute? C.html. Okay, you execute extension of this. Now, this is about rows attribute. This one is a rows. See, as already said, what is the use of the calls attribute? Calls attribute is used to divide browser window into the column. Similarly, rows attribute is used to divide a browser window into a rows like this. This is the browser window. Instead of vertical frame, I want to divide browser window into the horizontal. And in this I want to execute one file. And in this I want to execute one file. So when you want to divide browser window into the horizontal, then we take the help of rows attribute. Rows attribute is used to used to divide browser window into the rows. And similarly, as you have given in a calls attribute, in the rows attribute also, what is the size of the first row? What is the size of the second row? That information also you should give. Okay, so what is the use of the rows attribute? Rows attribute is used to divide browser window into the rows. It means horizontal partitions. Okay, similarly, you write the syntax of rows attribute. Frame set rows. This is an attribute. This is an element. What is the use of this attribute? This attribute gives information that you are going to divide browser window into a rows. Okay. And size of first row, size of second row, so on, size of nth row. Okay. Now, here if you have given sizes, then here you should give the frame. Frame, in that frame, which document you want to execute? That is the source. Location of the file, which document you want to execute in the current frame. Name of the HTML document, name of the file. Next, in the second frame, name of the file. Like this, you can execute as many, you can include as many frames as you want. Next, you close the frames like this. Okay, what is the use of the rows? rows gives the information that we are going to divide browser window into the rows. Size of the first row, size of the second row, and size of the nth row. So if you have given 3 rows, 3 sizes here, 3 frames should be present here. If 3 frames are present, 3 HTML documents should be there. Okay, first frame, second frame, like that. Okay, the extension of the syntax is very, very important. In the exam also you have to write the syntax. Now, we will write an example program so that you will get a clear picture of frames concept. First, I will give you the output, and according to the output, we will write the code. This is your browser window. Okay, and this browser window title is main file. Okay, and we are dividing this browser window into the 2 columns. Okay, 2 rows will be better. 2 rows. In this row here, I want to execute a.html file, and here I want to execute b.html. Okay, so what output is there in that file? It doesn't matter. What I want to do? I want to execute that files. I want to include the 2 files in my process. Okay, now I write the code. So first I am writing a.html. Here is a a.html. In a.html, this is a file, and this is a b.html, one more file, and this is a c.html. Okay, 3 files. So in a.html, I am writing HTML. Directly I am writing the body section. Inside the body tag, I am writing frames. And I am closing the body section. And I am closing the HTML. This is a simple program. What is the name of the file? A.html. Now come to the b.html. In the b.html, again I am writing the HTML. These are separate files, individual files. Here, third BST I am writing. And I am closing the body section. And I am closing the HTML. Now, I want to combine these 2 files into a single browser window. Okay, now here this third file is a main file. Here we will write the code to combine these 2 files, means to divide browser window into the 2 frames, and in each and every frame we will execute these files. Okay, now HTML, as I already said, no need to write the body tag. Directly you write frame set. Frame set. Here I have divided browser window into the rows. So you give the attribute rows. Rows equals to size. This is a 50%. This is a 50%. Size equals to 50%. It should be in W's. Comma 50%. Okay. Frame set rows. We are dividing browser window into the rows. Size of the first window is 50%. Size of the second window is 50%. Now, if you have divided browser window into 2 rows, no, then you have to give the size of each and every row. So, means name of the document which you want to execute in the window. Frame src. So here src stands for the source. What it gives? The location of the HTML document which you want to execute in this file. Now, source. In the first window, there is a first window. Which file you want to execute? A.html. Close this. Now the second one is frame src. In the second window, which file you want to execute? B.html. Over. Now you close the frame set. Frame set and close the HTML. So when you execute the c.html, you will get this output. Because in this file I have given a code to divide browser window into 2 rows and size of each and every row, and what is the name of the file to be executed in that frames. Here this is the first frame, this is the second frame. Like you can give 30%, 30%, 40 also you can give, 40, 30, 30 also you can give, but when you add it should be 100%. But here one thing you need to remember. Here directly I have given the name of the file a.html, b.html I have given. When this is c.html file and these 2 files are not in the same location, then what you have to give? You need to copy the path and you have to paste the path. Okay, when these three files are in the same location, then only directly you can give the name. When these three files are not in the same location, you can't give the path. Sorry, you can't give the name. If they are in a different location, then you need to give the path. If the three are in the same location, then directly you can give the name of the file. Here, assume that these three files are in the same location. So that is why directly I have given the name of the file. These three are example, one file in a C drive, one file in a D drive, one file in A drive. In that case, we can't give name directly. What you have to do, you have to give the path, total complete route to leave. What is the path? You will get the address bar, no complete path you have to copy and you have to paste it. Okay, now you take screenshot of this. This program which illustrates dividing browser window into the rows. In the next program I will give you how to divide browser window into the columns. Now, here example, instead of rows, I want to divide the browser window into the columns like this. Here I want to execute a.html. Here I want to execute b.html. And example, the size of this one is a 40% and the size of this one is a 60%. Okay. So when you are dividing browser window into the vertical, then here instead of rows, what we use? Instead of rows, we use a columns. Frame set equal. Frame set calls equals to. What is the size of the first one? 40%. Comma. What is the size of the next one? 60%. It should be in a double quotes. Over. Now, in the first frame, what you want to execute? A.html. In the second frame, what you want to execute? B.html. Okay. So, this is about rows and columns attribute. When you want to divide browser window into the rows, we will use a rows attribute. When you want to divide browser window into the columns, then we use a columns attribute. Okay, so when you are using this rows and columns attribute, it is a condition that you have to give the size of each and every frame. Okay, and in each and every frame, you can include, you can execute one HTML program. And whatever properties you will get for a single browser window, all those properties you will get for a single frame also. Okay, this also you take a screenshot. I will explain the attributes of the frame set tag. Here we have two attributes, that is frames, border, frame, spacing. Two attributes we have. Actually, this is an attribute will include inside the tag only. What is the use of the frames border? See example. This is a browser window. We are dividing into a example 2 frames, 2 vertical frames. So by default, this border size equals to 0. But when you want to make borders visible, then you can use a frames border. Frames border equals to example yes. Then borders will be visible to the user. Okay, so remember one point, whatever attributes you will include inside the frames that will be applicable to all the frames. And if you want to give any separate property, that we can include inside the frame tag. Okay, now we have frame spacing. Example, frame spacing equals to 5 pixels are given. So this is a frame spacing. This is space between the frames. So you can give a frame of the space between the frames by using a frame spacing attribute. Okay, so using a frames border, you can give borders around the frames. Using a frame spacing attribute, you can give a space between the frames. Okay, so these are the attributes of frame set. Okay, so what is the use of the frame set tag? Using the frame set tag only, you can divide browser window into the different departments. You can partition the browser window, and in the frame set tag, what will give information about how many rows you want, and how many vertical frames you want, and how many horizontal frames you want, and what is the size of each and every frame. That information also will give. Okay, and your frames border you can give, frame space you can give. Only one point you need to remember when you are adding a frames. So what is the size of the frame you have to give, and when you add the sizes, it should be 100%. and whatever main file and whatever frames you are in, whatever HTML document you are including in the frames, if all are in the same location, then directly you can give the name of the file. If they are not in the same location, then you need to give the path. Okay, so this is about frame set tab. In the next class, we will discuss about frames. Thank you.